Hello and welcome to round 4 of FIRL Season 2. We're here for Japan Suzuka, and today we have 10 drivers racing with us. We have Chris, we have Jack, we have K-Dog, we have Mistrovel, we have Spaceman, we have Scavney, we have Cam, we have Tifosi, we have Drummer, and we also have the Pink Spartan joining us today. We don't have the championship leader with us, Brian, so it'll be interesting to see is he going to join us for the race, or is he just not going to race today? We were estimated to have 14 drivers today, but unfortunately some couldn't turn up due to other commitments, but we will see who comes out first in this qualifying session, and seems like no other driver really wants to go out, but we do have, I believe Scavney is going out on track right now, and I'm going to check the comments and see who is messaging in the comment section. Yep, I really do hope Santi that pole position will be a 28. That'll be really good to see. But so far Scavney only one out on track, and yeah, hopefully he can be up there as he was last time out. Unfortunately didn't quite, well no, I think he won that race. Came out on top with the alternate strategy and ended up getting the win. So always good for him, and looking up for the racing points. We also have Cam out on track, Tifosi and Drummer, all four of them so far are on track, and now we've got Jack also on track. We are my fellow countrymen, and so far half the drivers are out on track, and hopefully this is going to be a really good session, and we'll see who's going to come out on top. But the first person that will do a lap is going to be Scavney, so we're going to go on board with him for his medium tyre lap. I'm pretty sure this is just a banker lap, and he will be going on soft tyres later on, but he's going to go through 130R now, probably the best corner on this track, and he's going to go through the final chicane, and this is where you want to be careful because there is a massive bump coming out of this corner. He seems to have flattened it quite well, and now he's going to go down the front straight towards turn 1 in power mode 4 ERS mode, and he's going to go to turn 1 braking nice and late into the first corner, and does that pretty well. And he's going to nail turn 3 by getting on the curb a little bit, and he seems to be doing that quite nicely, and yep, avoids the curb on turn 5 and then into turn 6, and coming out the S section, and now going into the second part of the lap, which is the Degners, and he does the first corner pretty well, the first Degner and the second Degner pretty well, goes through the sector time, and it is purple so far, but he is the only one to set a sector time, so he goes through the hairpin now, and he does that pretty well because it's very difficult to get traction through there, and going through the flat out right handers, and there's a yellow flag sector 1, not going to pay attention to who that is because we are going to stay on board. I think it's Cam or Drummer, one of those two are struggling through the S section, but Scavney is going down the back straight now into 130R. He will go, he's putting it down to high ERS and braking heavily into the final couple of turns, and going across the line he'll go, massive bump, avoids it. DRS is now open, and we also have a retirement because Chris is hit the wall, and that has almost caused Scavney to be out of this session, and I'm not really sure what happened there because I think Chris might have just got too much on the power, maybe just hit the massive bump and hit the wall. It's really unfortunate. And Spaceman asking for a ban. Nah, Santi's alright. And we do have Tifosi coming across the line, with a 1:30.7, and then we've got, I believe it was someone coming into the pits. We're going to see what Jack does on a lap. It's a nice 29.5. That is a good lap so far in this session, and yeah, could be even pole, to be honest. Not really sure about the time as we get this amazing camera angle through turn 1 and 2. And yellow flag sector 1, but that is just Jack going slowly. And yeah, it's looking alright in this session so far. And we still have not seen from the other 5 drivers on the grid. Chris DNFing, so just really unfortunate for him, and he will be starting on the last row of the grid with one of the other drivers. He'll be hoping to improve on that finish, but yeah, just really unfortunate for everyone. Everyone is in for their in lap K-Dog. She is doing okay, and she's actually on another lap because the last lap was a 1:47.9. So she goes through the first Degner, going through the second Degner now, and through third gear, nice early on the traction zone, going towards the hairpin, and brakes nicely through there, and gets really early on the throttle. So I'm guessing she has traction control on, and then going through the ongoing right-hander, and then into Spoon she will go, and going round, and she takes that pretty well. I think you can go a little bit wider there. She doesn't carry as much speed as maybe Jack did, but going down the back straight now, on towards 130R. Braking into the chicane and going through, and she hits the bump, and it's going to be a 1:34.3, so not the greatest lap so far, but she definitely has time on the boards to improve as she goes. There is a Toro Rosso on the grass. But now we have 3 people on outlaps, so we have Mustroll, and we also have Cam, who unfortunately didn't really get the result he wanted in a different league, but he's coming towards. We're going to go on board the drummer because he is starting his flying lap and going around the first corner. Does that pretty nicely, and going through the S's section now. And I do apologise for my internet, it's just terrible at the moment, and I do apologise for any background noise. It is my PlayStation, it's really loud and can't really help it at the moment. He understeers wide, just coming out of the S section and braking for Degner. Does that pretty nicely, and through Degner 2, turns in a bit early but it seems okay. And then going towards the hairpin, where you just want to brake as soon as you straighten up your steering wheel, and then into the hairpin. You want to get quite late on the throttle, but it seems to me that he's backed out of it a bit because he was going pretty slowly coming out of the hairpin. So yeah, not the greatest for him. So we're going to go on board with Cam, who's round the hairpin and getting nice and early on the throttle, and going round the quick right-hander and up towards Spoon, where he will and he goes out of Spoon quite nicely on the throttle, and going towards the back straight now and on towards 130R, which was an amazing spectacle of a corner, and he goes round the left-hander and up towards the final chicane. Brakes nice and late there and takes out all of the bollards and goes towards the opening, the final section, and sets a 1:31.7 on the medium compound tyres, so not bad so far. Now we also have Spaceman, who's just started a lap, so let's see what he can do. Going into the first two corners, takes that corner not bad. It was actually pretty good. He did that understeered wide through turn 2, which is unfortunate, but he takes turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. He understeers a bit, which doesn't really set him up very nicely for turn 6. And then 7 coming out of the S's, he understeers wide and doesn't really take that as how he probably wanted. And then going into first Stegner, he goes onto the grass, and that was an amazing thing to see, to be honest. And now going through the hairpin, doesn't really set himself up very well for that corner. Doesn't go for the as wide as possible line, and then going round the spoon corner from the tyres, and then he goes towards the 130R corner, and he will take that for the first time on his flying lap, and braking just after, and then gets on throttle nice and early and goes on to P6. So he's doing better than K-Dog. So I'm going to go on board with, let's see who's setting a good time. So we're going to go on board with Tifosi now. It comes through the hairpin quite nicely, gets that done, and then goes through this bendy flat out section, and then into the spoon curbs, and he's on towards the back straight. I'm sorry I'm a little bit distracted at the moment. I will go straight on board with these guys. Tifosi come through the 130R corner. He's 1.2 up on his time, so this will put him in pole position if he can carry this on. Breaks nicely into the final chicane. Can he get it done? He goes straight in, and he's going to set a 1:29.5, and that is 200ths quicker than Jack has so far. So it's a great lap from Tifosi there, and yeah, great. But Jack was trying to respond. He was 1/10 down in the first sector, and unfortunately he's impaled at this time too. So we'll go on board with Cam, who's going through the Degners on his outlap. Oh, when he spun. Sorry, I just wasn't watching, I'm sorry. But yeah, he spun. Luckily no front wing damage, so he can carry on as he was. So, yeah, as we can see, not quite turned on tonight, I guess. I just everyone Scavney looking for K-Dog. So actually we'll ride on board with her now. She goes on for her outlap, and she's going to start her flying lap now. She's going to put the RS up, and she's going to go down the front straight, and she wants to go on the left hand side as possible. Then going through turn 1, you want to completely take that one, take as much curve as possible, and then try and stay to the inside. And then going through turn 3 and turn 4, that is nicely done from her. She's going through turn 6 and through turn 7. Probably the most difficult part of this track is these corners, and she seems to have done a pretty good job. And yeah, she seems to, and she's going through Degner 1 and then Degner 2. So yeah, not bad from her there. She takes those corners pretty nicely, and then going up towards the hairpin, she brakes nice and late, and then on the power, and she's got her out of there pretty nicely again, and through the right-handers and up towards Spoon. and she seems to be doing that okay. She was more on the outside she was the previous time, and yeah, not bad at all so far, and she runs a bit wide onto the grass, and hopefully this tall also won't get in the way too much. Seems to have got away a little bit, didn't leave much space, but seems to be alright. As K-Dog comes around the final corner now, she's going to get nice on the throttle, try and avoid the bump, and she's going to set a 1:34.3, so this clearly isn't a good circuit for her, as she is behind the likes of Spaceman, Drummer, and Cam Cam, who she was ahead last time out in China, I believe it was. Was it China? Singapore. Sorry for that mistake. It was Singapore, and yeah, it wasn't a bad lap, but hopefully she can improve on that time, as we see Cam Cam starting his lap. But we're going to go on board with Pink Spartan, because he's further into his lap, and he's going to go through Spoon in just any second now. But he's in low ERS, so we're actually going to go back on board with Cam Cam, who is going through Degna 1 now, and then into Degna 2 straight away, taking it in third gear, taking an off curb on the outside, and then going around the flat out right hander. You want to be braking where your steering wheel is in a straight line, and coming out of there quite nicely done from Cam Cam, then going around the right handers and up towards Spoon, and Tifosi has moved up to first place. No, sorry for that, everyone. It just looked like someone went up, and I think it was Scavney, I believe, who is only 500ths away from pole. And now Cam Cam's coming through the final corner and taking a lot of curb on the first one, taking a lot of curb on the second one too. Wants to avoid the bump, but he's in a low ERS, so I guess he made a massive mistake that we just didn't quite catch. So we're gonna stay on board with the Pink Spartan. Actually, we're gonna go on board with him, and he's in the gravel as he invalidates his time, and it looked like Tifosi was pushing him off a bit, maybe. I was not sure, so I'm not going to point any fingers. So, oh, the time's over already. Oh, jeez, I have not realised that. But Tifosi has so far taken pole position, and unless Scavney, Jack, or Spaceman can take it away from him, I doubt there will be anyone else will take it. So Tifosi coming to the final chicane now, braking just after the 100-metre board, going through first the last two corners, and then going nicely. Oh, and he abandons a lap. So we're going to go on board with Scavney now. Can she get pole position? Yes, he can. By 66 thousandths of a second, he takes pole position off of Tifosi. Great lap from him. And Jack has invalidated his lap, and Spaceman seems to be off the pace. So that is it pretty much for the qualifying session, and I'm surprised how quickly it went, because it just seemed a lot quicker than it was last time out in Singapore. And it's a pretty good lap time from the top three, and then there's quite a large gap to both the Renaults. Then Spaceman P6, K-Dog P7, Pink Spartan P8, and Mistrov P9. And Chris DNFing, unfortunately, crashing into the wall. That's unfortunate for him. As we see Spaceman come around the final corner to finish off this qualifying session with a 2-minute lap time. So that is it for today's FIRL qualifying session. Scavney comes home in P1, 66 thousandths quicker than Tifosi, and then only another 200ths down the road is Jack, my fellow countryman. Cam P4, Drummer P5, Spaceman P6. I think that's his best qualifying session so far this season. K-Dog P7, the Pink Spartan P8, Mustrov P9, and Chris, the only one to not set a lap after DNFing into the wall just after crossing the line, comes home in last position. So as everyone is doing their setups, I'm gonna go through the championship order. So the driver standings after round 3 is Tifosi P1, and it was a great job from him. I don't think that's right. Where? So I think Brian has left the league, so unfortunately he is no longer with us. So not in that way, but Tifosi leads the championship standings by only one singular point to Cam, then Spaceman P3. Great job from him. Spartan in P3, a joint P3. P5 is Scavney wanting to get higher up in the championship. Lord Z P5 with 25 points. Chris P7, K-Dog P8, Drummer P9, Pingu P10, P10, Sheppy P11, Fonias P12, and Conman on that singular point is in last position. So everyone is getting their tyres ready for today's Japanese Grand Prix, so we're gonna see what's going on with the constructors. So Mercedes are ahead by 95 points, followed by Haas with 55, Renault with 44, Ferrari P4 with 38 points, Racing Point with 35, Red Bull with 18, Williams, Toro Rosso, and then McLaren rounding off the rear. And the only ones to not score is the let's see, what team is it? I'm not sure who is. I think it is the Alfa Romeo. So Jack, hoping to score, and he will score, Alfa's first points of the season. So the lights are about to turn on for this Japanese Grand Prix. There's 5 lights, and we're lights out, and away we go. Scavney gets a good start over Tifosi, and Scavney is away with Jack right next to Tifosi, and we will go on board with Tifosi as he's spinning round, and he's just about to hold it in, and he's now dropped that to P7 after a really bad start, and the Pink Spartan and Chris, as Pink Spartan is DNF'd, and Chris has taken out the Pink Spartan. Yeah, that's unsportsmanlike conduct right there. Obviously first lap one, bit of a racing incident, but if anyone's to blame, it looked like Chris was definitely to blame there. And we have a virtual safety car, and yeah, it's just really unfortunate for Pink Spartan, who's, I'm sure, has been chaining all week, and unfortunately rocks up and DNF's turn 1, but that's just league racing for you. So we are underway now. Scavney is 8 tenths ahead of Jack in the Alfa Romeo, and Drummer in P3, Cam P4, Tifosi P5, Spaceman P6, K-Dog P7, and Mustrov P8, Chris P9, but we've got some kerfuffles with Spaceman has been spun around on the last chicane, and he's back down into 8th place, and the only person behind him is Chris, who is definitely coming to the pits this lap, as he has a little front wing, and Scavney is actually being chased down by Jack now, and it just said 3 tenths, but it is about a second is the gap. And then Drummer, we've got a yellow flag set to 1, and I'm not sure who that is, I can't tell, I don't think it's anything major. And then we've got Drummer, who is P3, trying to hold off his teammate Cam, who is only 1 point off the lead of this championship of Tifosi, who is behind him at the moment, so he will take the championship lead at this moment in time. K-Dog is in P6, and Spaceman has just re-overtaken Mustrov in this Grand Prix, as Mustrov going very slowly. So does he have a problem, I wonder, because he seems to be going pretty slowly. He's got a missing left end plate, and it looks like Spaceman has got away in the first lap pretty cleanly, and K-Dog, the only girl in this league, is going through the screen section. Seems to be struggling a bit this weekend, not quite getting this track correct, and she seems to have a massive gap between her and Tifosi and Spaceman. And at this moment in time, the only people that are close together are the front two, so let's skip to them. Jack is less than a second behind Scavney, and Scavney is leading this Grand Prix, not for the first time in his leather Grand Prix, as he won last time out in Singapore, with the alternate strategy compared to the likes of Santi and Tifosi and others like that, such as Cam. And we've got yellow flag for Mustrov, who I think might have lost more front wing. Yes, he has. He's lost the right end plate now, so just not a very good day for him, as he's understeering through every single one of these S's corners, and that leaves Chris catching him now. And Tifosi is overtaking Cam, as Cam's going slowly. So can we get a better view of maybe his front wing, because we don't really know. Has he got damage? He does not have damage, but it just seems to be going a bit slowly off of the hairpin. And luckily, everyone except for the Pink Spartan still in this Grand Prix. And we've got yellow flags for Mustrov, who is going backwards, and it's just not been Mustrov's day today in the Toro Rosso. And he's also got Chris rapidly catching him now. Scavney puts in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, quicker than Jack, as Mistrov's going off everywhere now, and it's just really not been his day today, and hopefully there's a safety car to bring him back in it, as he's lost more front wing, and he's off again into the gravel trap. And I'm going to go on board with Tifosi, as he's right up behind Drummer, who's in a championship podium position, and they're also being tracked down by Cam once again. And Drummer, as we know, is a quick driver on his day, and hopefully can stay in that. Oh no, they're both taking each other out, as Drummer seems to be going slowly off that corner, and that's really cost Drummer some really precious points, as Tifosi's gone off and he's cost himself front wing by running into the back of Drummer. And we've also got Mistrov pitting in for hard compound tyres, and they're taking quite a while to fix and repair his car. So we're going to go right on board as Spaceman, as he takes 5th place off Drummer, who has smashed into the wall and has come out with hardly any front wing. So I'm guessing Drummer and Tifosi will be pitting in this lap, and seems like he's riding the curbs as if he would. And we're going to actually ride on board with Jack, who is right up behind Scavney for the race lead. Can we see a new race leader, as Tifosi gets caught speeding in the pit lane? So again, unfortunate for him. And yeah, we do see Drummer and Tifosi in the pit lane, and it seems like Drummer's put on the soft compound tyres, so I'm not really sure what's going on, as we see a Spaceman off into the gravel trap and seems to have just spun off, and he'll need to be careful, as his tyres will be overheating, and he needs to just be careful going around these quick corners, and especially the Degner that can really catch people out on the curb. And he's braking nice and slowly in there, so it seems like he's got that strategy pretty thought out. As Drummer is only 1.7 behind Chris, and I believe Drummer's quicker. Oh no, Chris, sorry, Drummer is off into the barrier once again, and it seems like another day, another spin for Drummer, and she's into the barrier and into the gravel trap, and that's half of his front wing missing, and it means that Mistrov might catch him up, as Drummer will need to be pitting in again this lap for probably the hard compound tyre. As we also are going to ride back on board with Jack, as he's coming through the middle sector, and he's kind of letting Scavney get away now, as yeah, it just seems to be clearing off that tiny bit. So maybe Scavney having late pace on the soft compound tyre, and I think Spaceman might be in soon, as it seems after that spin, seems like his pace has been a little bit down compared to what it was before. And K-Dog, who seemed to have not much pace in qualifying, she seemed to have sorted it out, and she's in P4 in this race, and she just kept out of trouble, along with Cam, who's doing a great job in P3, and Zumbo Fuel, she's going to have to turn down to lean, and hopefully he can get away in this Grand Prix with P3. That'll be really good for his championship fight against Tifosi, as we see Drummer entering the pits again, and he's going to be overtaken by Mistrov, and yeah, it's really unfortunate for him, as everyone's got a gap except from the top two. Everyone's separated, as we see Tifosi go off in the first sector, and he's being caught by the likes of Scavney and Scavney and Jack, he's being caught up by them a lot because they're almost lapping Mustrov now. So you know, I'm gonna look at Scavney's on board, and we're gonna see him catching up to Mustrov as we see Jack getting a penalty. So he's gonna have to be wary as Mustrov does the right thing and pulls off to the left hand side and lets the top two go. And look at the gaps between everyone except from the top two. Everything is between 12 seconds. So showing Japan isn't exactly the best for entertainment, so we really need some sort of safety car to spice these things up. And I'm really hoping that Jack can catch up with Scavney as we see Chris off into the barrier once again, and he's lost his front wing there, and yeah, he's struggling to get back on the track, and hopefully he can rejoin the track and keep it out of the barriers as he goes into the pits probably. As Chris goes off once again, and now we see Tifosi rapidly catching him up. And we are going to see over here is we've got a yellow flag sector 1. I'm not sure it doesn't look like it's major, so I'm going to stay on board with Tifosi as we see Spaceman into pits for the first time, and Chris going off wide through Spoon Corner. So Tifosi has taken that position off of Chris, and we're going to see Spaceman leaving the pit lane on the soft compound tyres. So interesting to see that he thinks that it'll be soft medium, and I think he could have got away with soft hard. As we know, Spaceman really likes the quicker, the more racy tyres rather than going conservative. We also see Chris and Mistrov both in the pits once again, and they've been having a lot of pit stop issues. As we see, the top 4 have not pitted yet. Spaceman seems to be the top one that has pitted, and Tifosi I think is going to be catching up rapidly soon. But Spaceman seems to be comfortable around this track. He seems to be more up there than the likes of when he was in Singapore. He struggled around there, but he's pretty good here. So he's coming through the final section now, and let's see the race director and Scavney. No warnings, and we obviously know Jack has one, and Cam doing a really good job there, and also Spaceman doing a really good job. Tifosi getting 2 penalties, Chris getting just a warning, and same with Drummer, and Mustrov getting 1 penalty as well. So the guys are doing a really good job of leaving it as we've got Jack in the pits. The guys are doing a really good job with penalty wise, not cutting too many corners, and actually I'm going to ride on board with Drummer, who is right up behind Chris, near to no ERS for Drummer, as he goes really late on the brakes through the chicane. He's got DRS going down the back straight, as you see Chris going sideways coming out of the Suzuka bump, and seems like Drummer might have this move done, as it looks like he has. And yep, going through the second corner going to go on board with Chris, and as you can see, he's got the move done. And as you can see, Jack coming out way ahead of K-Dog, and only two in P3 provisionally, and eventually he will be dropped down to P4 if he pits now. But we will see, because K-Dog obviously needs to go into pits too. And yeah, just a really good job from everyone so far. The Pink Spartan obviously doing everything, unfortunate for him. But Mr. Did a really good job of getting up the way for top two drivers, and seems like he has made it around a few laps without going into the wall. But I think this might be his first lap coming up the pits. He's 1 second up on his time, so that's good for him. Scaffney's in the pits, so let's see what he can do. Scaffney with a 5-second penalty, and that's interesting. That might affect him at the latter stages of his Grand Prix. As he comes out of the pit box now, we're going to go on board with Jack. Does he get past his K? He's overtaking Cam, and he's got DRS as well. Can he make it out ahead of the provisional race leader? It's going to be close. I think he's done it. He's successfully done the undercut, and we've got a yellow flag sector 2. I believe it's all fine because everyone seems to be on normal speed now. But absolutely amazing from Jack there, and done the undercut, and he's made it. Great job from him. But looking at the ERS situation, I'd rather be in Scavney's situation right now, looking at the times, and we're going to go on board with Jack so he can take us around this lap and see how it's made to be done professionally. He's 3 tenths up on his lap so far, and will we see a different side to Jack as when he goes into the lead of this Grand Prix? Cam and K-Dog yet to pit, so they'll come out in P3 and 4 no matter what. And K-Dog, who's looking no pace, look at her now, she's in P4, and looks like a really good day for Racing Point as they're trying to catch up Mercedes in Championship, and this is the perfect chance for them, as Pink Spartan is crashed out and is now last, as we see Mistrov unfortunately going off once again, so not been the day for him. Maybe Suzuka just isn't his track, and was it still hope, but we're going to go on board with Scavney now, as he's right up behind him. Looking at the RS situation, Scavney might even get him down his back straight, as in the DRS now, and Jack's the quickest lap time. Mistrov, I'm going to call you, has got a 3-second penalty, and Scavney had to back out there. Cam is in the pits now, so we're actually going to ride on board with him, because I don't think there's going to be much action at the front through the S's, and he's going to come out ahead of K-Dog, who might actually pit this lap too. We'll see, and she's not, but she's not going to come out ahead, I don't think. Just don't think she has the pace, as we actually see Jack go round, and the time I'm not spectating them, he's round, and he's not out, so you know he's okay for now, and he's also still on the medium tyres, so he should be fine. Hopefully didn't cost him too much time, and if he has to pit again, hopefully it didn't cost him doing getting it. But he's 13 seconds now, so that is definitely not enough for a pit stop, and K-Dog will be probably coming into the pits this lap, as she's the only one that hasn't not pitted yet, and yeah, we'll see. As K-Dog going around the hairpin, she does it successfully, and I've got to give credit to K-Dog for keeping out of trouble, just like the top 3, as Jack has spun this lap, and the ERS situation for him is not looking good, but Scavney looks now in control of this Grand Prix. Just needs to turn the fuel mixture down, as he has no excess of fuel, and he'll have to turn it all down, and I think that's what he's doing, as he seems very in control, so we'll leave him to it, and we're going to spectate K-Dog as she's coming through the chicane, taking it quite slowly, as I think she's on her in lap now, and she's really slowing down for the pit entry, but she's doing this unnecessarily to herself. She could have gone a lot quicker through there. And now into the pits, they lift him up and puts him a medium compound tyre, so that will take her to the end, as we see a slow drummer as he spun round coming through the first sector. He's going to have to be careful with his teammate Cam, and I think he's going to let him through. No, that took him a little bit longer as Cam had to go off track. Luckily no front wing damage for the Renault, but it seemed like Drummer didn't do the greatest job of trying to keep out the way of his teammate there. So yeah, it's not going to be. I'm sure Cam isn't too happy about that. And I'm going to check the stream. Do we have any more messages? No, no more. We've got 4 people watching in the stream, so hi guys, this is FIRL, and this is what it's about. We're going to see massive gaps between the guys, but Tifosi's rapidly catching, so I'm going to ride on board with him as he goes through the hairpin now. Seems like he's doing a pretty good job of catching up with Spaceman, and he should be fine to catch him and overtake. But I'm pretty sure Spaceman will not make it to the end, so Tifosi will, so it should be a good Grand Prix for Tifosi if he can maximise the points. Maybe P4 is possible for Tifosi today, as he's championship leader and he doesn't want to lose out too much points to Cam and Scavney, because Scavney looking towards the race win, and just as I say he's catching him, he's not seeming to catch him too much anymore, and it's just he needs to start catching up soon, as he's on the hards and Spaceman is on the last of his soft compound tyres. He will be boxing in the next 5 to 7 laps, and the most controlled people in this Grand Prix so far, Scavney, Jack and Cam, and K-Dog will be on the back foot when K-Dog will be on the back foot when Tifosi is right on her back, so yeah, watch out for that. Tifosi seems to have a really good run going into the chicane, outbreaks himself, but Spaceman, being the respectful guy that he is, gives Tifosi room, and Tifosi is now up into P5. So not a bad chicane for him, and Spaceman gives him tons of room. He did not need to do that, as Tifosi looked like he was running a bit wide. So yeah, but Tifosi getting it done and dusted. So the top 4, or at least the top 3, look in control, and they look like they will be leading this from start to finish. K-Dog is probably will be under a little bit of attack at the latter stages of this Grand Prix from Tifosi, but that is if Tifosi doesn't have to pit again, because obviously 20 laps to go in this Grand Prix. 20 laps worth of tyres is a lot for an F1 car, and it will be interesting to see if Tifosi has to pit again, or if he just chooses to pit again if he can't catch K-Dog and go for the fastest lap. I would do that if I was 5 seconds off, and there's only four or five laps to go. I would pit in and hope that I can get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And Scavney, we're going to check his fuel. He's still struggling with fuel, but he looks in control. So yeah, we're going to leave him to what he's at. Mr. Is a bit hasn't really seen many people for a while. He's been lapped by K-Dog, but Tifosi will be on his rear in the next couple of laps. And Tifosi coming through the S section. The Ferrari looks amazing through here. Not in this camera angle because this camera angle sucks, but down here it looks amazing. And brakes nice. Into the 50-meter board, and there's a yellow flag, and it's Mr. is out of the Grand Prix, and that is a safety car. This is exactly what we needed in this Grand Prix. We needed a safety car, and we've got one. Chris retires from the session as well, so I want to see what happened to him. The closest person on track is Drummer, so we have to wait a while to see what happened to Chris. I think it's exactly the same thing to what happened to him in qualifying is what happened just then. So, you know, it's proving to be a difficult one for the drivers. And if I was Drummer right now, I would be staying out and trying to catch the safety car queue, as we see Cam catching it, I believe. Cam should not really be behind it because he doesn't need to. He does not need to be behind this car, and he just hit the safety car. Now I'm not sure what just happened there. It just seemed like it stopped, and it stopped him. I'm not really 100% sure what happened, but I'm going to look at this stuff. We've got a 5-second penalty from Scavney. We've got a 3-second from Jack. We've got Cam who's only had one warning, and K-Dog. Actually, I want to see what that warning's for, because I just really want to know. Chris leaves the session. Collision with safety car. I thought I saw that, and that's really confusing on why he got it. But I guess it happened. As we see, Scavney's in the pits. So Scavney choosing to go on the soft compound tyre for the remaining 10 laps of this Grand Prix. I mean, it could work. It can 100% work, and it might work because, as we saw, it seemed like Scavney had more pace over him, and I think Scavney's really made the right decision here of staying out. So we're going to check the Discord server and see what happened. It doesn't seem like we have any confirmation of what happened. And I guess this has really spiced this race up, because Drummer, who's a minute behind Spaceman, is going to try and catch up now. As everyone, the only person who's caught up to the safety car is Jack. And let's see who else. And I'm going to check the comment now, by the way. If it's Santi saying this is dead, I'm just going to ignore him. Carter, this is a serious league, okay? This is a league that we do every single Sunday night, and I guess you could say we're all friends here. But I mean, it's a league race. It's not just for fun. It's people do it because they want to get results here, and they want to win the championship. So I would say it's serious. and we see Jack leading this race by a comfortable margin. So interesting to see Spaceman and Tifosi put on for mediums, because you would have thought with this many laps to go it would have been a better option to go into the softs as Scavney has. Maybe they're just thinking that the softs will be terrible towards the end and the mediums will do them just fine. I don't know, but it seems like they're more comfortable on the mediums, I guess. And what's good about this is that everyone will have an equal chance in this race, and everyone will be at 100% ERS, everyone will have fuel, and this is the moment that Scavney has waited for to get the fuel back after having low fuel for the whole race so far. And I'm surprised that Drama is taking so long to catch up, as Tifosi and Spaceman, who have not got up to the pack at all, and it's most likely the safety car is going to be in this lap, so they need to hurry up if they want to make it. So Tifosi is, what was he, low ERS, but if I was him I'll be turning it up down that back straight to maybe 2 or maybe 3, but it seems like actually we haven't had the message of the safety cars in this lap, so maybe they got off luckily, and yeah, I think they have, so there'll still be one more lap for everyone to catch up, and I think Drummer is actually lapped, so unfortunate for Drummer. I'm sure he would have expected more today, but Tifosi is now caught up and Spaceman is also catching up. So luckily Spaceman's caught up to the back of the pack, so yeah, hopefully he can sort of make his way through the order again, as he was P5 for some points of this Grand Prix until he spun out, and he stayed in P5. He's a lot closer to Tifosi, but Tifosi seemed to have jumped him in the pits, or no, sorry, Tifosi was definitely ahead, as I got a call. I'm very sorry about that. And I'm going to put my phone on mute now, and I think Scavney is definitely set up for this Grand Prix, as you have confirmation of safety cars in this lap, and let's go on board with Scavney. And Scavney will be wanting to go as soon as possible. And they are away, and Tifosi is already ahead of Cam, and he's ahead of K-Dog, so he's absolutely minced the 4th and 5th place drivers, and it's put them real down in a uncomfortable position, as now he's ahead of Cam, who is his championship rival. As we're going to go on board with Scavney again, who is only 5 tenths behind on Jack, and as my Wi-Fi starts to clear up, and seems to be all clear now, so hopefully no more jumping around for at least a couple of laps. And Jack is pulling away a little bit in this middle sector, but people thought Jack's medium compound tyres for 11 laps would be aching right now, but it seems like he's been doing okay. And Tifosi is actually not too far behind, as you saw. All 3 of these guys within a 10th in qualifying, so I guess Scavney should be the one to take control, but so far it's not been that case. And Tifosi's just dropping back a little bit on these guys, but going down the back straight and into 130R, still in the slipstream, and the slipstream's so OP down this straight. They don't even need DRS, and going through the chicane is who will take the bump flat out. Well, it looks like Scavney did, and who's lower on the ERS? Jack is lower on the ERS, so he needs to start saving it up. But Scavney trying to go round the outside doesn't quite work out for him, and unfortunately keeps for second place. And yeah, second place so far is not bad at all, but he'll be hoping to get that first place off of Jack when the right time is, and it looks like Jack went a bit wide, and there's a yellow flag for Drummer, I believe, and yet he's off into the gravel trap, but luckily he kept out the walls, so he can carry on in this Grand Prix. And Scavney is still right up behind Jack, and with 6 laps to go, 5.5, all the drivers will be thinking about how many penalties they've got and what they can do to mitigate the amount of penalties they can get, and they'll try and push as hard as they can. So Scavney, I know, has got 2 seconds more than Jack has, as I don't know if Scavney took it in the pits or not though. So he might, if he took it in the pits, then he is fine. He will be P1 and he'll win, so that is always good. And Jack, I think the defence of P1 is now going to be over, as Scavney pulls to the outside, and he's got the speed over him. Obviously Jack will not give up going into turn 1, and Scavney goes a bit wide, but he takes the lead of this FIRL race 4 here in Japan, and he leads. He's led every lap except for the ones after the safety car, and now he's taken the lead, and he will be clearing off hopefully in the distance, or hopefully for him anyway. Jack will be wanting to catch him up, but he has a look at the ERS situation on him, and we hope Tifosi will be catching up to him soon. So it'll be good to see if Tifosi can get P3 after a horrible race so far, and maybe on penalties maybe win. But looking at Tifosi's penalties, I think he might have just too many, as he's got 2 penalties. I'm not sure how many of them are he's took in the pits, but looking at Scavney, he's got the consistency, and Jack getting 3 seconds worth, so we'll see. But K-Dog's got the real consistency here, not getting a single warning penalty. Cam's got 1 warning, Spaceman has 1 warning too, and Drummer's got quite a few. He's got 1 penalty actually. Only 1 penalty is good for him. As we see a driver going straight on, as Scavney picks up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So it's good job from him. Solid 26 points in this Grand Prix. So yeah, he'll love that. And maybe this could put him in a really good position for the championship. As you see Tifosi gradually catching up to Tifosi catching up to Jack, and this is going to be the battle in the last couple of laps. And also Cam trying to catch up to K-Dog. So we'll see both of them, as we actually see Cam a bit closer than Tifosi is to Jack. So we're going to ride on board with Cam for the next few corners until Tifosi and Jack come a bit closer. But look at the traction compared to Cam to K-Dog. Will Cam go for the small little dive bomb into the hairpin? Doesn't seem like he will, but he's going to be on the back of K-Dog, and K-Dog gets a little bit on the grass there. It's just going to affect her exit, but look at the dirty air. And Cam almost goes off track, and he's in the slipstream now. And who will go into the spoon first? It is K-Dog ahead of Cam, and it's 4/10 gap. We might see an overtake here, as K-Dog looks a little bit tentative on the throttle. And now Cam, oh, he's gone off track. She's gone off track, and that is going to give Cam a position. But will it give K-Dog DRS? She's going to go down and around. She's going to try to go down the inside. She does not. She leaves it. She's sensible, and she goes for the DRS instead. But it doesn't look like she's quite close enough to take advantage of it. But you never know, actually, because she might just get it. It doesn't look like she will. She's still 4/10 behind. And we're going to move on board with Tifosi for the rest of this Grand Prix. As I don't think anyone else will be challenging each other anytime soon, unless there's an accident. I'm 100% sure nothing will happen. And we're actually going to see the stops. So Scabney with the 2 stop seem to work. Jack 1 stop. Tifosi, as we see a yellow flag for K-Dog, who's in the barrier, and yeah, 6th place. So I'm guessing she just got a bit flustered from Cam's move, but luckily no front wing damage for her, so that's always good. As we also see Drummer off track as well, and yeah, unfortunate for those guys who've not had the best Grand Prix in the world. Obviously Scavney is in the lead, but if we look at the gap, we still see those 2 struggling in the gravel. But look at the gap between Scavney and Jack. It's come back down again, and you could still see a lead change, and Tifosi not seeming to catch up much with Jack anymore. So maybe we'll see a change to the lead instead, as he's really close to the DRS now. Scavney needs to start picking up the pace, because at this moment in time he will lose the Grand Prix. And yeah, I mean, unless he's taken that penalty in the pits, he's pulled out a 5/10 gap so far in the S's, so I think he might be alright. And goes round corner now. It does pretty well. 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix, 1.5 for the leaders, and it's been a really entertaining Grand Prix in the commentary box. And Scavney leading this race pretty much start to finish. Jack P2, and Tifosi starting to catch up again, but it might just be a little bit too late for Tifosi. Drummer pits as well, so not a good day in the park for him, and he'll be hoping to improve for the next race. As we see Tifosi getting a really nice exit out of the spoon curve into 130 yard. You see the drivers just carrying all the speed through there, and it's impressive to see him go flat out through here, and then braking for turn 15, I believe it is. It was turn 16, something like that, and crossing the line to start the final lap of the Grand Prix. We're going to ride on board with Tifosi for pretty much the rest of this Grand Prix. He's in DRS range now, so you never really know. Tifosi might take P2 in this Grand Prix. We don't know yet, so we'll have to wait to see how will happen to Tifosi. And he goes into Degner 1. 6/10 is the gap. Will we see a last lap move for Tifosi in this Grand Prix? He's so close now. He's going to be braking so late compared to Jack. Jack on those worn soft compound tyres. Tifosi with those medium compound tyres, it's going to be a really tough one. These guys were less than a tenth away from each other in qualifying, and now we'll see what they have in their box. And it's coming up to the final corner, and it just looks like he won't have enough. So we're going to ride on board with Scanfi going into the last turn, braking for the last turn, turning in for the last turn. It's been a fantastic Grand Prix for Scavney, and he's got the result he wanted. P1 for Scavney, Jack P2, great job from him, and Tifosi P3 with a 7-second gap to Jack at the end with those penalties. Cam coming home P4, an okay race for Cam, and the gap's actually quite small as the penalties really take a move. Will we see Spaceman in P5? Another solid result for him, and we'll have to wait another half a lap for K-Dog to come round as she was finishing off the race, and she's also got drama behind her. So wait till these drivers can do it. So she's going to come to the line out. She's going to go around 130R. She's going to, to the final time, she brakes a little bit for it. It's just unnecessary. And she brakes heavily into the final chicane. Goes a little bit wide, understeering through the final bit. And she's going to come to the line now. And she's going to take P6. Good result for her. And Chris, Drummer, going for the final place. And that was an entertaining Grand Prix for the last 10 laps. Great job from all the drivers. And we're going to see the podium celebrations. We're going to see a Racing Point take the win, with Alfa Romeo also getting their first points of the season. Great job from those guys. So Scanvi, a completely clean race for Scanvi. Jack P2, Tifosi P3, Cam with a clean race in P4, and Spaceman P5, another clean race for him. And we've also got K-Dog with a clean race too. So all of these drivers getting clean races. Good job for them. And I hope to see you guys all in the next race. Drama P7, and then the 3 DNFs in this Grand Prix. We've got Chris, and then we've got Mistrovil, and then we've also got the Pink Spartan DNFing on the first lap. And I'm going to take you through what is the next race of the season. The next race is going to be Canada, so watch out for those guys in Canada, one of the quickest tracks on the calendar. And yeah, hope to see you guys then, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy your day. Please subscribe, like the video, and do all of that. And yeah, hope to see you guys next week in Canada.